Coco Gauff picks her favorite surface out of hard and clay after stunning Wuhan Open title win. Coco Gauff produced a majestic performance to capture her 11th WTA Tour title on Sunday. The American proved too strong for compatriot and former doubles partner Jessica Pegula, defeating her fellow American in the Wuhan Open final. Gauff trailed by a double break in the second set, before rallying to win 6-4, 7-5. As a result, Gauff claimed her third WTA Tour title of the year after winning the French Open and the Canadian Open women's doubles title. The 21-year-old has evidently demonstrated a particular proficiency on hard and clay courts, and she chose her favorite following victory in Wuhan. Coco Gauff says hard courts are her favorite surface. Following Gauff's titanic battle against Pegula, it was revealed Gauff has now won her first 9 hard court finals, the only woman in the Open era to do so. In fact, it is the first occasion a WTA player has won 9 consecutive hard court finals since Serena Williams, who won 9 straight between the 2013 US Open and 2015 Cincinnati Open. "I definitely think it's the surface I'm most true to," Gauff said in a WTA interview after her victory. "Obviously, growing up, I just liked the sureness of bounces and the sureness of knowing when I'm going to stop and when I'm going to go. It's special, and also being American, I feel like that's our surface. A lot of people think it's clay, so I don't know about the favorite surface debate. I feel like it's still going to be hard court for me, but yeah, I didn't know that was a stat, so I'll try not to think about it if I'm in another hard court final to keep that record going." How much prize money did Gauff win in Wuhan? Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula have both collected hefty sums following the Wuhan Open final. Pegula walked away with $351,003, while Gauff has won $596,000. In 2024, the winner took home $525,115, while the finalist received $309,280. The total prize pot was $3,221,715. When Coco Gauff lifted the Wuhan Open trophy under the dazzling Chinese lights, the roar from the crowd was more than just applause. It was a celebration of a star ascending into a new realm of belief. At just 21, Gauff has already accomplished more than most dream of, but in the aftermath of her Wuhan triumph, the conversation took an intriguing turn. Not about rankings, not about rivals, but about surfaces. Because as the media descended upon the young champion following her 3-set victory over Jessica Pegula, someone asked the question that every tennis aficionado had secretly been wondering. "Coco, now that you've conquered hard and clay, which surface feels most like home to you?" She smiled. Not a polite smile, not a rehearsed one, but that knowing grin of a player who's been thinking deeply about the craft of her sport. The kind that says she's more than just an athlete, she's a student of tennis, always learning, always evolving. And her answer revealed more about Coco Gauff than 1,000 match statistics ever could. The spark beneath the surface. "Honestly," Gauff began, twirling a strand of her hair and pausing just long enough to keep the reporters leaning in, "I'd say hard courts. That's where I feel the most me. It's the surface I grew up on. It lets me mix things up, play with tempo, bring that junk ball creativity when I need to, but still go after my shots. Clay made me tougher, but hard courts? That's where I feel free." It was a statement that summed up not just her identity as a player, but her journey through the turbulent, high-pressure world of professional tennis. Gauff's rise has always been built on resilience. The fearless 15-year-old who shocked Venus Williams at Wimbledon in 2019 has matured into a tactical, composed, and mentally unshakable competitor. She has won big titles on both hard and clay, from Cincinnati to the US Open to Roland Garros finals, but Wuhan, in many ways, encapsulated the best of both worlds. Her victory was as much about her physical power as her adaptability. She didn't just overpower opponents, she outthought them, shifting pace, absorbing pressure, and choosing her moments to attack. Hard courts gave her that expressive space, the freedom to play on instinct, the confidence to let her athleticism shine. A tale of two surfaces. To understand Gauff's choice, it's worth diving into what each surface means for her tennis soul. Clay courts are the great equalizers, slow, demanding, and deeply psychological. They test endurance, patience, and tactical clarity. For many, clay is a love-hate relationship. The grind is real, and the rhythm is different. Gauff's athleticism and court coverage have often served her well on the red dirt. Her semi-final runs in Paris showcased her evolving tactical sense, using heavy topspin, sliding into shots, and extending rallies to wear opponents down. But at times, clay has also been where her impatience bubbled up, those moments where she wanted to hit through the court instead of letting the point breathe. It's a surface that disciplines even the fiercest hitters. Hard courts, though, are where Gauff's natural instincts bloom. On hard surfaces, her explosive first step becomes a weapon. Her backhand, one of the best on tour, zips through the court with clean precision. Her serve, constantly improving, bites harder and kicks higher. And perhaps most importantly, hard courts amplify the parts of her game that are uniquely hers, that mix of defense and aggression, rhythm and chaos, precision and improvisation. When she talks about feeling free, it's not just a metaphor. It's physics meeting personality. The Wuhan masterpiece. If Wuhan 2025 proved anything, it's that Coco Gauff has turned the hard court into her canvas. Every match she played that week told a story of growing confidence, tactical maturity, and emotional steadiness. Against heavy hitters, she used her defense to neutralize. Against patient counterpunchers, she went on the attack. By the time she faced Jessica Pegula in the final, she was a blend of patience and fire. Pegula, a consistent baseline machine and her close friend, brought her usual steadiness, taking the first set with controlled aggression. But Gauff's response, mixing looping shots, sharp angles, and those unpredictable rhythm changes, was the mark of someone who's grown beyond her years. She wasn't just playing for points anymore, she was constructing art. Each junk ball drop shot, each high-arching moonball, each lightning counterpunch, they were chapters in a creative manifesto that only Coco could write. When she lifted the trophy, she didn't look surprised. She looked certain. This wasn't an upset, it was a declaration. The psychology of preference. Athletes often have complicated relationships with surfaces. Serena Williams thrived everywhere, but always had an affinity for hard courts. Rafael Nadal and clay are practically a love story written in red dust. Roger Federer's grace always seemed at home on grass, yet his most emotional triumph came on hard courts in Melbourne. For Gauff, picking hard courts doesn't just speak to her comfort level, it reveals where she feels most authentic. On clay, she becomes a strategist. On hard courts, she becomes an artist. The difference might sound subtle, but in elite sport, subtlety can be everything. Gauff's ability to mix pace, play unconventional shots, and frustrate opponents with unpredictable patterns, all of that thrives on a surface that rewards versatility and explosiveness.